Yeah, totally is an owl. This is so cool! This October, I met up with wildlife photographer and videographer Abi Rowley in Richmond, so we could both go and see the deer rut. I travelled down by train the day before and stayed overnight so we could get up early to go and see the deer at first light. The weather forecast was looking pretty awful, but we weren't going to let that stop us. However, I was so glad Abi drove for this trip. When she picked me up from my hotel, not only was it still dark, but it was absolutely tipping it down with rain. Hello. Just before daybreak, we headed for one of the many gates to the park. These are locked up overnight and had only just been opened to let the early bird visitors like us in. Once we drove into the park, it didn't take long to find the deer. Literally right there. Yeah, so there's some on the... This must be the... Oh,
there's some there as well.
Oh, okay. I'll turn over there.
There's a massive stag there.
Yeah, there's like a herd over there.
There's loads here. Right. There's a baby.
Oh, nice.
Oh, are they rutting?
That one is huge.
They are rutting, but they're really young. So look how beautiful his eyes are.
He is.
Okay, we've got one crossing the road.
Oh. Let me see if I can.
Oh, this is like being on supply.
It literally is, isn't it? Dude, this is amazing. This is so cool. The thermal scope helped us to spot them even before the sun was up, and we were amazed to see how many we found within such a short time. We spotted this gorgeous pair of stags by the road and decided to park up in a nearby car park, and then we walked back to watch them for a while. These are red deer, which is one of 2 species that live here in the park. I loved hearing the sound of the antlers crashing together. But despite the displays, there wasn't actually a doe in sight here. While Abi was getting some awesome shots of them with her super long-range lens, I decided to take a walk in the woods nearby to see what else I could find. In the low light, on such a grim grey day, these grey squirrels were hard to see with the naked eye, but they lit up on my thermal scope. I really enjoyed watching them, but then the rain really set in. I'm waiting for Abi. She's going to get the car. I have got a suitable waterproofing, obviously, for her amazing camera, and I'm waiting under the shelterish of this beautiful oak tree, waiting for rescue. We decided it was time to go and get a coffee and take a little break to warm up and dry off a bit. We spotted this jackdaw in the car park, and I was a bit concerned as it seemed to be holding its wing a bit funny, and it let us get really quite close to it. But then it took off, and clearly it could fly perfectly well, despite appearances. We decided to drive to another section of the park to see if we could find some more deer there. Then we spotted a herd of red deer out in the open, so we parked up, grabbed our gear, and headed slowly towards them. It was still a bit rainy, so it was lucky that we found some shelter under these beautiful trees. It was a great vantage point to watch them from. And while the rain might have been an inconvenience, it definitely had its perks too. One of them was this incredible shot. Abi would never have captured this stunning footage if we'd waited for a drier day. What a moment. We watched quietly for a while before I fired up the thermal scope again. At that moment, I realised there were more deer in the background that we hadn't yet been able to see. Camouflaged perfectly amongst the bracken, there were more roe deer just across the road. Later on, we could hear one of them roaring in the distance. Further back though, just up the hill, there was also a herd of what turned out to be fallow deer that we also hadn't spotted. But there was just no missing them with this bit of kit. We watched with fascination as a pair of stags not far from the main herd edged closer to one another. One of them looked to be lame, likely injured and tired from the rut so far. There also seemed to be something of a difference in size between them, so I wasn't quite sure how this meeting might go. Later, some of those fallow deer I'd spotted on the thermal scope across the road and made something of an entrance to our roe deer scene.
One of the things I'm really enjoying is actually the sounds. Now, obviously, like, this is London. There's a lot of background noise, there's planes going over, there's car noise in the background, but there's parakeets chattering in the trees, there are lots of corvids making a racket, there's the deer roaring in the background. Like, I really hope that you hear some of these sounds, and when you're out and about, listen out for them too, because it's amazing when you just stop and listen what you can hear, even when you are in a place that actually, yeah, has a fair amount of background noise. And if you're not using it already, have a go with the Merlin app.
We also saw another beautiful green bird here in Richmond though.
Oh, nice, thank you. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, she's so close, like giving us tips on, like, I love that.
I think we definitely need to start like animal watchers.
Earlier in the day we caught a sight of a green woodpecker flying around and about a few times while we were watching the deer. But at the end of the day, on our way back to the car, we got an even better sighting of a pair of them.
So despite the weather, we have had an epic morning here in Richmond Park. So don't let weather stop you from going looking for wildlife. It can be a pain, but this is Britain, so what can we expect? I'm so glad that we didn't let it stop us, because we've seen absolutely loads, and yeah, we got a little bit wet, but actually it's been worth it. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. It really helps to allow us to come out on more adventures like this one and to make more awesome wildlife videos for you to see. Have you been to Richmond Park? Or any of the other royal parks actually? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. And if so, what were your highlights?
So next time you're thinking about going out, wrap yourself up and get out there. You just never know what you might find.
Okay, so we are pretty drenched. The gear is pretty drenched, and we're giving it in now, I think, to go for some lunch. So thank you so much for watching us on this crazy adventure to Richmond Park. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you want more absolutely bonkers adventures like this one to Richmond Park, and we'll say goodbye to the deer and hopefully see you in the next one.